And the attacks in both New Orleans and Las Vegas have Capitol Police beefing up their security measures in Washington ahead of several major events that are scheduled for next week. And that includes the state funeral for former President Jimmy Carter. Officials say thousands are expected to be in our nation's capital to pay their respects beginning January 7th. So let's bring in CBS News correspondent Skyler Henry right now. Skyler, walk us through this plan for increased security, my friend.
Yeah, so not only will we see increased security there in Washington, D.C., Reed, but we will see certainly beefed up measures around here. We're at the Carter Center just outside of downtown Atlanta, where this was already going to be a choreographed event as it relates to law enforcement posture. And we see some signs of that around the facility as well, with police officers blocking off certain roadways already. But what we anticipate is for everything to kick off here on Saturday, where the late president will make his way from South Georgia, from Americus, and then to Plains, and then up here to Atlanta, where he will then pause at the Georgia State Capitol, where we anticipate the governor here, along with mayors and other dignitaries, to pay their respects before his body is then brought here to the Carter Center for that public remembrance ceremony. He will then lie in repose for several days before making his way to Washington, D.C. And to your point, Reed, because there will be so many heads of state, so many dignitaries, that includes former presidents, current presidents, future presidents, there is already going to be beefed up security all throughout the district there, and that includes measures that are both seen and unseen, trying to reduce the amount of risks and security threats throughout the city. And that will ultimately be the case from now essentially all the way through January 20th of the inauguration. We should also point out that police here in the Atlanta area have said that they will be beefing up their security because there are college football playoff games happening here. The championship game is happening in the next several weeks. They say that what is happening and what has happened in New Orleans and Las Vegas just means that their posture is going to be ramped up quite a bit in these next several weeks.
We also know that President-elect Donald Trump plans to attend these services for former President Jimmy Carter. How does that really amp up the workload for security in an already tight and very tense security situation?
Well, because he is the president-elect and because of the recent events that have surrounded his movements, obviously dating all the way back to the attempted assassination back this past summer, security was already significant and high surrounding President-elect Trump's movements going forward. Now that we know that he will be in attendance for President Carter's funeral, that just means that it's going to be ramped up even more. Obviously, President Biden, who is delivering the eulogy, will be there as well. So that means that Secret Service will certainly be in full force, if you will, along with the help from other federal, state, and local officials to try to make sure that the events that happen not only here in Georgia but in Washington, D.C. are as safe as possible.
Skyler Henry reporting live once again for us. Thank you so much.